Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the virtual Stock Car Racing Association Premier Series playoffs from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's playoff race number 3 and a cutoff race. Next week, we advance to the round of 6. Here is tonight's starting lineup, brought to you by EHG Designs. Starting on pole, we have J.D. Laird, the only driver in qualifying to hit a sub 31 second lap time. Starting in second, we have Jonathan Oates with a 31.050. Third, we would have had Ryan Vargas. Sadly, he had left the server, so we will not be seeing him in tonight's race. Fourth, we will have Gavin Jones in the 00. Fifth, Leighton Sabile in the number 4. Following him will be Elliot Henderson in the 37. After him will be Peter Akumano. What a name is that? Akumano indeed. I'm gonna probably mess that up a few times tonight. Christopher Heller follow him in 8th place, followed by Eric Kepf in the 63. 33 of Aaron Hale will be our last timed qualifier for tonight, and following him will be the 42 of Dylan Alt. After him will be Raja, if he was still here. However, sadly he has left tonight, so we will not be seeing any more of him. So after him will be the 65 of Justin Bland, with Austin Moore rounding out the field here. Tonight is going to be an interesting race. We got a very small field indeed, and sadly our contenders to make it into the next round of the playoffs are not here for tonight's race. So our locked in drivers into the round of 6 are gonna be J.D. Laird, Elliot Henderson, Eric Kepf, Justin Bland, Scott Zellner, and John Palmieri is gonna make it on to the round of 6 following tonight's race. Good job to those boys, making it out on points. Don't think tonight's race, though, is going to not be worth your time, because drivers tonight, based on their finish, can carry these points onto the next round, which can make a big effect on them making it to the final round. As we're coming to the green flag here in just a tiny bit, we'll watch as J.D. Laird leads the field with Jonathan Oates beside to the green flag. And green he goes. Good jump on the field for J.D. Laird. He's going to jump Jonathan Oates by at least 5 car lengths here. That's going to be a good start. Side by side heading into turn 1. Jonathan Oates stuck on the outside with Leighton Sabile on the inside. Oh, he looks like he's going to clear him going through the corner out of turn 2 here. Gavin Jones is going to seem to keep the position here in 4th place. Let's see, they're still side by side ending at turn 3. All right, Elliot Henderson is trying to stick there. He's still there. He's not giving up yet. Oh, he's clear. Is he going to come up? He's going to come up. All right, we're clear, single file, back on through the field. We got another race back here with the 65 of Justin Bland, the 20 of Peter Akumano. It looks like it's going to be pretty clear going through 1 and 2 here. Our driver's going to start to get single file coming out here. It's looking like it. We're not seeing too much passing except for right at the back of the field here. Starting to get single file. The last battle on the track we got is 63 of Eric Kepf racing the 33 of Aaron Hale. Let's see if they can get themselves organized up here. Oh, we got the 20 into the wall. Oh, he's going to lose a ton of time. Is he going to get passed by the 33 here? Yes, he will. Looks like racing side by side helped out Aaron Hale there. The 24 is trying to stick to the outside of the 20 as well. And he is going to clear him coming out of turn 2. We're going to be single file now going through the field. J.D. Laird still leads the field with Leighton Sabile in 2nd. Jonathan Oates sticks in 3rd with Gavin Jones just behind. Elliot Henderson, who has been one of the good contenders this year, very high in the points after J.D. Laird, is looking to move his way forward to try and contend for the championship here. But as of right now, he seems to be stuck behind the 00 of Gavin Jones. He's starting to get a little bit of a run going down the backstretch here, but he's not going to pull the inside. Gavin Jones can block the line there. Jonathan Oates leads this pack with a big gap out in front to Leighton Sabile. We're going to see if he can get the field going here. I would like to refer to our driver analyst here, Kyle Short, what's the status going on here? What do you think these drivers are gonna have to do now that they're all single file? Do you think there's gonna be tire saving, fuel saving? What's the call here?
It really depends on what type of strategy they're looking for. They're looking for like a 2 pit stop strategy or a 3 stop strategy. They want to try to take tires 3 times and make up the time that way, or they want to try to save fuel and go a 2 stop route. It's a 2 stop route. You can go 45 to 50 laps roughly.
So if we were to go try and stretch the fuel out to 50 laps here, we would at least have to have a 2-stop race. That's correct?
Yeah, everyone's gonna have to make at least 2 pit stops, but if you want to try to make up some time with some tires, there might be some
we got a
people that might
pass
try
going up here. The
3-stop
37,
strategy.
Elliot Henderson, gets up the inside of Jonathan Oates. Is he going to be able to clear him going into the corner? Jonathan Oates going to fight this on the outside. Oh, it looks like he's going to clear him. Can he get back down, though, before the 00? Gavin Jones can get clear of him, can get inside. Gavin Jones is up the inside. He's going to start getting trained here. Oh, but he gets clear of him going into turn 3. No pass there. Good job, Jonathan. All right, back to that 2-stop strategy. Now, is there a possibility that a 3-stop could work here? Is that too much of a sacrifice?
I mean, it depends on how much fall off we see with these tires. If we see enough fall off, the 3-stop strategy can definitely work, especially if you're doing it alone. Maybe one of these front guys, like Elliot Henderson, like Jonathan Oates.
That's going to be an interesting thing to see play out today, because with the small number of cars in the field, cautions are very unlikely. We're looking to see a big endurance race here, and we're looking to see who can save tires, who can save fuel, and who could just manage their car the cleanest and the best. Any damage looks to be a big issue. If you get any, it's going to be hard for you to keep positions with such a tiny field here. As we see, just a lot of nice single file here. It's real nice and calm. Honestly, this is one of the calmest races I've seen on iRacing. Even official races are more chaotic than this. I'm also hearing just now that there's supposed to be a stage break on lap 25. So we're looking at a caution at lap 25, which would leave just about 109 laps. Now, Kyle, do you think it's possible to save fuel from that point to only have to pit one more time?
Most definitely. If you save enough, you're just taking it real easy. But at that point, the tires are just going to catch up to you. At that point, you're saving fuel and you're running out of tires. Your tires are really falling off. So I don't really think a 1-stop strategy would work. Even if you would make it, I still don't think it would work.
It's going to be interesting to see. We're going to be looking to see if anybody try and pulls that tonight. As we see, Leighton Sevilla is caught up to the back bumper of JD Laird. There seems to be a little bit of a battle coming for the lead here. He's not far behind. He had a much bigger gap just a few laps ago. I wonder, JD possibly saving here, even with that caution at lap 25? Is that a practical thing to do? Do you think there's any reason to try and do that this early in the race?
JD Laird is just chilling back there, saving his tires, chilling in his dirty air, coming down the straightaways, getting a little bit of his draft. He's not using as much acceleration as he is right now, either saving gas or saving tires right now.
We saw Leighton Seville try and take a wide line through 3 and 4 to try and see if he can get a run. He does it again in 1 and 2 here. That I've run this track quite a few times, and I've never really seen that line work. But if he makes it work, it's definitely going to be interesting. But what I've noticed is when you try and run that high line, you really hurt those tires turning. But hey, if we got that caution at lap 25, I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue. We look back to the field a little bit. We see a little bit of side-by-side going on. Oh, in the back. Oh, somebody got into the wall. Who is that? That'll be the 63 of Austin Moore. Got into the wall coming out of turn 4 there, and he's going to give the spot up to Aaron Hale. We see just a little bit of tight quarters racing further up there at the 11 and the 00. He tried to pass him there coming out of turn 2, but just couldn't get to the inside. Gavin Jones has fallen back a little bit. He's from his 4th place starting position. He's now in his 6th place here. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue if he's keeping oh, and he gets into the wall. That's not going to help you. I was going to say, if he's keeping calm, that's going to help him try and catch up later in this run, but can't be doing that. You got to avoid the wall. I've done some testing before this race with this setup just to see what these guys are experiencing, and what I've noticed is right at the beginning of runs it's very, very loose and you're trying to keep the rear tires on it, but once you get about 4 to 5 laps into a run, it starts to get really, really tight. You're gonna have to start using a good amount of brake, maybe drop the brake bias some, be careful on the throttle to not push the car. And we're seeing it a couple times here. We're seeing some guys get into the wall and it's clearly biting them. If we see one of these leaders do that here, that could mean that the back of the field is going to be coming quick. And depending on how many cars we see in the wall here, we could see a huge train form if that kind of thing were to happen. But for right now, it seems to be everybody's keeping calm, everybody's running single file, just keeping the car out of the wall as much as they can, even with the few issues that we've seen. But our poor Peter Akimano got into the wall earlier in the race, currently 14 seconds off the lead, just not having a lot of fun here down in the back, all the way on the front stretch as the leaders are on the back stretch. But the lead, the closest battle we have on track right now is for 6th and 7th, as we see Aaron Hale take a little bit of a higher line trying to get by Gavin Jones here. We got a 3-way battle going on here. I think we're going to stick here for a little while to try and see if we get some action coming. Gavin Jones takes a pretty low line down the front stretch. Aaron Hale a little higher, takes a high line to the corner. The 24 is going to try and get under him here. Can he get under him coming out of turn 2? No, he cannot. He cannot get the run. The 33 pulls to the inside of Gavin here. Is he going to get the pass, or is he going to battle on the outside? He's going to try and battle it on the outside. Oh, I don't know if that's going to work, but he looks like he's doing it. He's going to get a run coming off the corner here. They're side by side heading down the front stretch. Now, this is the kind of racing we're looking for. The 24 is going to be pushing the 33 into turn 1, and he's going to clear the... Oh, not yet, not yet. All right, now he's clear. Now the 24 is on the inside of Gavin. Gavin's got to find his way back in line here. Ooh, got real close to the wall coming off turn 2. He's going to lose a bit of time as Justin Bland catches up to his back bumper now, and he still runs the high side. I don't think he should keep doing that. He's going to lose another spot as he gets car up the inside. Justin Bland is going to try and pass him now. Ooh, he's getting a little bit squirrely coming off the corner, and he's going to clear him down the front stretch. Gavin Jones just lost multiple spots in just a couple laps there. Ooh, 4th to 9th is not what you want to see in this early in the race. Ooh, right in front of him, Justin Bland gets real loose. He's going to keep it going, though. All right, we're going to resume the battle with the 33 and the 24. Very close. Still the closest battle on the track we have currently. Austin's keeping a lower line coming out of turn 4. Seems to get a decent run coming off. He's going to try and pull it from the inside. Yes, he is. He's going to try and go side by side into turn 1. Oh, he's just going to give the position to him. Better to... Oh, no, he's not. He gets a bit of a run coming. Oh, but he's just not going to be able to do it. Oh, you see a lot of these guys trying to battle on the outside here, but honestly, it's probably better if they were to get in line here. Kyle, what does that do to the tires when these guys are battling on the outside like that?
Some of these drivers have realized, and that's what I saw with the 00 right there, that this is going to be a long green flag run, so they're going to need to save tires. So if you're battling out up on the high side this early, it's just not worth it. Maybe late in the race, but this early in the run, it's not worth it. Just give up the spot if they're quicker.
Oh, we got a battle for 3rd coming. Jonathan Oates pulls up to the inside of Elliot Henderson. And he's going to clear him going into 30. He gives him a little bit of a thank you over the radio. You love to see it. The 37 Kligerman Sport Cars gone forward from the start, but just lost a spot there. Possibly he could have used his stuff up a little bit there. They take a real wide line into the corner, not getting to the bottom until very late in the corner. That's an interesting line. I've never seen that around here. Now, Kyle, what would that line do? What do you think? Is there a benefit to running that very late apex, or do you want to just stick to the line around here?
Me personally, that's the line I like to do. I like to take a real high entry and just take a real late apex and just take it real easy into the corner and take it easy on those tires. Taking a real low entry and if you're heavy on the brakes or letting off a little later than most, you're going to use up those tires more. Also, just depends on how you drive the car, though. Everyone's different.
That is true indeed. I've noticed a lot of those guys, when they do try and run that line, they try and carry a little bit too much speed, and they can't really get it down coming out of the corner, and all the benefit of that line just goes away just like that. Going through the order, we're trying to look and see who's got the highest amount of gains from the start of the race, and it looks like Austin Moore in the 24 has gone from 12th place starting position up to 6th. Oh, Leighton Sabile got very loose coming off of turn 2 last time by. Oh, and he taps the wall a little bit going down the backstretch. That was a moment right there. He really got loose. Hopefully we can try and get a replay there, because that was a big save coming out of turn 2. As we look, see him come through turn 1. Just a little bit, he's got the rear end stepped out a bit. Once he touches that line, he seems to be good, but as he comes off the corner, sees the right back. This seems to be pretty clean going by there. I know he had a moment. I watched that. That was a moment indeed. Let's see if it's the next time around here. Alright, going back to the front here. He seems to have not lost too much time though, even with that moment. Still, the closest battle we have on track right at the moment is for 3rd place. Jonathan Oates has not really pulled away too much from Elliott here. He's still got a pretty decent couple car length gap to him, but it hasn't really gotten any further apart. Jonathan's running a massively wide line through the corner. I mean, he is taking that thing up to the 3rd lane almost, running the lines. Now, what's interesting to note is this track was one of the tracks that had received the dynamic track update from iRacing just a few weeks ago. So, seeing that line, it might not be as bad as it used to be. As we see quite a few drivers trying it out. It seems to be the bottom is still definitely the dominant line, as every time we've seen a car go by, they seem to go by on the bottom. But as we see cars in a single file pack, they seem to be trying to look around the track for some grip. Kyle, do you think there's any grip up there?
What appears to me that I'm seeing with Jonathan Oates right now is that he's used up his tires just trying to get to Elliott and get past him, and he's trying to find speed other places. But with that dynamic track update, for sure, you can find some more speed up on the high line, up in the middle, and once more grip is put down. So later in the race, we could definitely see that come to the forefront in this race. The middle line, the high side, we could see a pass for the win even up there.
Now, as we approach lap 30 coming on here, we've got pretty much a pretty spread out field. We don't have a lot of battles going on. Closest gap is for 5th place right now. Austin Morris seemed to caught up a little bit to Christopher Heller here. But the gap is still car length and a half. But he's slowly catching him. We might see another battle coming here. And see if Austin can continue his charge. Oh, here. Oh, as we look here, Gavin Jones seemed to have gotten into an issue just before, as we see him on the outside here. He got back in line. Now let's see what happened. He pulls up to the bumper of the 63. He gets to the white line, looks to be good. And a little technical difficulties. Seems to have a couple issues here. Please apologize that for the inconvenience. Seems to be the gap is open. Ooh, Elliott Henderson had quite a moment coming off turn 4 there. Got into the wall coming off of turn 4. The gap has started to open up. Leighton Sabile is on pit road. Oh, this is a moment indeed. On lap 32. Now, what's the plan here, Kyle? Pitting this early?
Like I said, it looks like to me that he didn't feel confident winning on the 2-stop strategy, so he's going to try something different and go for that 3-stop strategy that I was mentioning earlier. Because I think we're going to go green the whole way here unless we get a self-spin or a heavy battle late. This many cars, everybody's spread out currently. We can go green the whole way tonight.
That's very true indeed. I'm expecting that to be the case. As Leighton Sabile will lose a lap coming to pit road here and will be about a quarter of a track away from the leader to try and get that lap back. Now, what is the advantage of new tires around this racetrack versus tires that are about 30 laps old?
Well, some of these guys right now are driving at around 33 second laps. On new tires, you can run a low 31, even into the 30s, depending on how hard you're driving and how much grip is on the track.
As we see JD Laird lap the 20 of Peter Akimano. Peter is just not having a fun race. He's been struggling since the start, ever since he got into the wall, and with the lack of cautions, we're hearing that the caution is going to be coming out here in the next lap right after Jonathan Oates will cross the line. So we're going to be seeing a caution, and that's going to be disastrous for Leighton Sabile as he pit expecting it to go green. God, what does this do to his strategy? Is he going to try and stay out here? I mean, he has to, right?
Yeah, he has to stay out, or I think he's going to get the lucky dog. Either way, I'd say he should stay out. Because if he doesn't stay out, he's going to get another pair of tires.
Clearly not happy. Sorry to cut you off there, Kyle, but Leighton very upset with the call from the officials here. And we're hearing that Leighton did not know that this was going to be a thing. Frankly, apparently we were misinformed too, because I was told over the radio here that it was a stage caution. And clearly not everybody was informed about this. Leighton is going to be very upset about this one. He's going to have to stay out, start at the back of the pack on old tires just to get his lap back. Well, we've got JD Laird and Jonathan Oates in the matching cars here at the front of the field. These are the two that have JD Laird leading the points currently and Jonathan Oates with 2 wins on the season. We've got a competitive race coming here. JD Laird does not have a win this season, amazingly. In 11 starts, he has not gotten a win. We're looking, he has 4 finishes of second position out of those 11 starts, so he's been that close to nabbing a win, but has just not gotten it. Could today be the day? That is the question. As we see the drivers likely come down pit road here, yes they will. JD Laird leads them onto pit road, Jonathan Oates follows as Elliot Henderson also comes in. As we see, of course, Leighton Sabile stay out to get his lap back, but let's watch pit road here, see if any mistakes come through. Big gaps between the cars. They're not really tidied up here. Good, clean. Looks to be pretty clean for everybody here. Doesn't seem to be any issues. Everybody gets into their box all nice and good. See a couple people here likely fix some damage. As we see a couple cars here got into the wall, maybe ran into each other a little bit. JD Laird will lead him off pit road, a huge advantage. A bit of a side-by-side race there for 4th place. But no positions changed.
There's a couple drivers getting repairs on pit road as well.
Look at who's getting some repairs. Austin Hale stayed on pit road for a bit longer to fix some damage. Gavin Jones and Justin Bland are staying on pit road for a good portion of time, try and get that car all nice and good. So, we're getting some tire reports from the field here, and it seems to be Gavin Jones is not very happy as his tire wear is significantly worse than the other competitors here. Looks to be that he was doing the opposite of saving and actually using it so much that he fell off a lot in that short period of time. Still, we have Justin Bland and Peter Akano on pit road. The pace cars coming by. They're going to have to get off pit road soon here if they want to stay on the lead lap. There's fixing the damage, and then there's fixing enough just to stay in the race. See pace car coming down the front stretch. They have not left their pit box yet. Akano leaves his pit stop. pit box. Justin Bland is still on pit road, and he's going to get lapped. Huh, that's curious. He does seem to have a good bit of damage, possibly some required repairs that he had to get through, or maybe he's just hoping that they get another caution and he'll be the lucky dog. No, isn't it worth it to fix the optional damage, Kyle, even if you do lose the lap?
I'd say for this race, no. Most points, I'd say yeah, depending on the track. But in this case, I'd say no, just because the amount of cars we have and the possibility that we can go green the rest of the way. And Justin Bland has just retired from the race, actually.
Well, there's the explanation as to why he was on pit road for so long. He was going to leave. He's had enough. He said, I'm done. Oh, I see. He tagged the wall quite a bit. Oh, that's where that came from. A lot of hits against the outside wall coming out of turn 4. Just couldn't get it off. Came like glue onto the wall. And I guess because of this, he felt his day was done and he's out of this race. I mean, he was above the line anyway, so he's going to be making it on to the round of 6 and hope for a better performance in the next race. But he is going to take a bit of a points hit compared to some of our leaders here. Seems to be, looking at the points line up here, it seems to be JD Laird, who is leading the points, is leading the race, so he's doing everything he needs to do, the best he possibly can. Elliot Henderson leading behind him, he's going to be starting right behind him, coming to green. And Eric Kepf is going to be in 6th place, earning a decent amount of points for tonight's race. As we come to 1 to go here, let's go over the starting order for this restart. We got JD Laird leading the field in front of Jonathan Oates once again. It's a repeat of the start. Elliot Henderson will be in 3rd with the 11 of Christopher Heller on the outside. Austin Moore will follow him in 5th place, and Eric Kepf in the 63 will follow closely suit. The 33 of Aaron Hale is going to be the last car in this big pack here. Is the 20 of Peter Akimano's got a bit of damage and is likely going to have to fall off the field here. And then the unfortunate situation of Leighton Seville, who had to take the wave around to get his lap back, will be starting at the back of the pack here. We watch the field come through turn 3. Let's just look at a couple of these schemes, because it's kind of funny how close Jonathan Oates and JD Laird's paint schemes are, despite not being exactly the same. I mean, what are the chances that they start doing a rainbow? Ugh, God. And then you got the colored number on the top of JD Laird's car. All right, let's get going. It's going to be going to green as the pace car comes down pit road. JD Laird's going to lead the field to green as he hits the loud pedal, and oh, he's going to jump the field and allows Elliot Henderson to get up the inside of Jonathan Oates. Jonathan Oates is going to go a bit backwards here. He's going to start to get trained. He's going to move his way to the inside. Oh, he's going to pinch. Oh, he's going to get right in front of him just in time. Austin Moore could not pull up on the inside, but he is going to get by the 11 here. The outside lanes just did not go on that restart. Oh, but Jonathan Oates is going to try and come back at Elliot Henderson here. He's got him up the inside going into the corner. Come on, let's see some dynamic track come to work here. No, it's not going to be. Jonathan Oates going to clear him on the bottom side coming out of turn 4. Elliot Henderson right back to 3rd. Great start from him, though. Got right on the inside. Jonathan Oates cleared him, just couldn't stay in front of him heading into turn 3. As the rest of the field goes single file here, Jonathan Oates a little bit high coming off the corner.
We have a spin in the back.
Oh, spin! Oh, big wreck in the back of the field. That's going to be the 00 of Gavin Jones. He's going to be wrecking. And who else wrecked there? I believe that was Peter Akimano as well, who was involved in that. Yes, it was. We'll watch as they come through turn 1 here. Akimano's going to lead Gavin Jones into turn 1. Looks to be good here. They seem to be... Oh, Akimano just gets loose, and then Gavin follows suit. They didn't even touch each other. They both just did a synchronized spin coming off turn 2. I mean, I've never seen something like that before. Well, hey, best thing for Gavin Jones, he's still in the race, and he's got no damage, just a couple tires that he might have to put on here. They've got 4 tires in the pits. He has used 1. So still have 3 sets left, and considering the rest of the race is likely to go green, I don't see any reason not to take the tires here, trying to avoid the flat spot as we watch Octagon's on board. Takes a bit of a wider line going into the corner. Seems to be alright. You see the correction start to happen. It just, the car comes around on him. He tried to keep it steady and possibly just applied a little too much throttle, and the car came around on him. As we see the 63 on pit road, we see quite a few people on pit road here. This is interesting. Now, we've only ran about a lap here. Kyle, is there an advantage to taking tires here?
Definitely a strategy move from these guys. Even 2 or 3 laps can put some wear on those tires, especially someone like Leighton Seville, who was just in the back. And he was already on a couple lap old tires, and he has exited. One of the favorites to win the race has just exited the race.
Oh my god! He left the server! I mean, that... wow.
F in chat.
That is an F indeed, Kyle. That is an F indeed. As you see Gavin Jones come in to get the tires as we suspected. Sitting on pit road for a good while though, possibly has some damage. Not sure from what though. He looks to have a little bit of right front damage. But they seem to be fine, looking to get off pit road before the pace car comes around to lap him. And he's coming off pit road now. Alright, we're good. Alright, we got the field order. We got JD Laird leading the field still with Jonathan Oates in second place after the crossover move on Elliot Henderson coming out of turn 2 on the restart. Elliot Henderson continues in third. Austin Moore, who moved up a position on the restart, will be starting 4th this time coming by. And Elliot Henderson comes down pit road! Oh my god! I mean, I know I said you guys had tires, but you're in 3rd! You're gonna lose all those positions just for how much of an advantage? Kyle, I mean, I get maybe last time by, but to come again? I mean, what's the plan here?
Looks like to me the plan is just try something different, because it seems to me that Elliot Henderson isn't going to win the race just by doing the same strategy as everybody else. So he's going to just try a different strategy and see if it works out for him. He doesn't have that much to lose, not that many people on the track right now. I think he falls back to 7th after taking 4 tires instead of being 3rd. Could be a good trade-off.
Very possible indeed. He looks like he's going to get out ahead of Gavin Jones, who had taken the pit road the last time by. Gavin Jones is actually going very slow on the pit, on the racetrack here, only running 80. Very, very bizarre indeed when he should be catching up to the field, but hey, maybe he's saving tires, who knows. Elliot Henderson will be starting at the back of the field here. It's going to be interesting to watch his advance. He'll be in 7th place coming to the restart here.
I think Mr. Jones might be eating some McDonald's right now.
Possibly. He's probably shoving a Big Mac down his throat. Who knows? He's still slowing. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's got a wheel issue. But hopefully we'll see him come up to the green. Oh, he's up. He's catching up to the back of the field. He was just doing it very slowly. Just making
63
sure.
coming down the pits, it looks like.
What are these guys doing? Pit the first time. Oh, and that was Eric Kepf, who had actually come down the last time around. Looks like he might have some damage. He's coming down to fix. Maybe put some fuel in it to try and make it to the finish. Now,
Definitely can make it from the finish from here.
Oh, most definitely. But with the caution, though, don't you think that the leaders are going to be able to make it on a single stop anyway?
Most definitely. Lap
Maybe.
38, they can definitely make it on one stop. I don't see 2 stops being a big advantage in this scenario.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if he gets any sort of advantage here, but Elliot Henderson going to be starting 6th now with that pit stop. It will be starting on the outside. The tougher lane to get going, but with the new tires, he could be going forward pretty quickly here. He's not that far away from the lead. It's possible that we could see a very good battle here from this bit of an off strategy. It could be the call of the race here. If this goes green to the finish, he's set to try and come for the lead. But with how few laps were on the leader's tires, is that really going to make a difference? Well, we'll see as we come to green here. Pace car is going to be pulling off in just a second as we see JD Laird lead the field to green. He goes, hits the lap pedal. Jonathan Oates spin tires a little bit, but he gets it going. Austin Moore up in third. He's not going to pull up beside Jonathan Oates. Oates is going to fall in line here. The 11 gets a good start side by side with Austin Moore going into turn 1. He goes a little deep, but Austin Moore is going to keep it going with that dominant bottom line. But he got slotted into the line here. Elliott Henderson has passed up to 5th now, but he did not get as big of a run as I'm sure he would have liked on this restart. He's still sitting in 5th here. Let's see how far forward he can get. As JD Laird just puts a good gap with Jonathan Oates. I mean, he already pulled out 5 car lengths. It's not looking pretty fair for the field here. But hopefully, let's see if Elliott Henderson can have a bit of a say in that, will. But he doesn't seem to be gaining that much time on those new tires. Kyle, it doesn't look to be this tire call is going to be the call. He's not really gaining that much time.
You also keep in mind that we're still early in the run. These guys in front of him, their tires are going to fall off a little earlier than Elliott. And also Elliott is just hanging out right there. As long as he's hanging out right there and saving his tires, I can definitely see him making some passes. I don't know if he can get past JD Laird, but definitely I can see him competing for second place with Jonathan Oates. JD Laird is just on something else today.
Alright, we can try and be a little bit more optimistic here, Kyle. I mean, JD Laird's still human. He's not an alien. Let's see if Elliott's got something for him later in this run. And let's see if your hypothesis is true. As we see a little bit of a battle, Gavin Jones is getting passed by the Superior Kemp. He's going to pull up the inside very easily going in through 1 and 2. He's going to clear him pretty easily. Gavin Jones, does he have an answer for him? Nope, not really. He's going to just kind of put a little bit of a block going down the backstretch, but it looks to be good going through turns 3 and 4. And once again, back to the nice and calm single file. JD Laird is just opening the gap more and more on Jonathan Oates. It's even bigger than it was at the start of the race. It's 0.6 of a second to Jonathan Oates here. And Austin Moore has had a hell of a charge through the field. We're going to have to see if he has anything for him, because this is the farthest up the field he's been all race. Possibly with a little bit of luck, possibly a little bit of time. If this goes green, he might be able to at least get by Jonathan Oates and possibly run down JD Laird. Kyle, with this charge, do you think he's one of the better ones in the field here? I mean, he is stuck behind Jonathan Oates here, but is that a way that he can just save tires if he thinks he's faster and try and get by him later in the run?
Austin Moore's been chilling in the back most of the race, been just learning and learning and learning, and now he's made this run through the field and he's up to 3rd place. I think he's just hanging out, as about everybody is right now. Everybody's just hanging out right now, just hanging out in line, not trying to cause any cautions, just trying to get through that next pit stop, and then that's when the racing will begin.
One of the things I have liked about watching him, though, is similar to Elliott Henderson. He's been one of the ones just hooking the car around the line for most of the corner. And I've noticed driving this track myself that painted line there definitely gives you a lot of turn, a lot of grip. But I say that, the 11 gets a run down the front stretch. He's going to be going by Austin Moore. He's going to take Elliott Henderson with him going through turns 1 and 2. Can he get down? No, Elliott Henderson is going to try and pull up the inside here. Oh, he battles up on the outside, but it looks like he gets the slot right back in the line. Elliott Henderson is going to make the move. No, he's not. Austin Moore is going to push the 11 through the corner. We got a tight race here from 2nd place. 2nd through 5th here is real tight as the leader, JD Laird, just pulls away. I mean, these guys are racing for best of the rest right now. Austin Moore has a comeback here to the 11 with Christopher Heller. Doesn't seem to be right now. Seems to be just kind of in line, pushing him. Maybe he's not trying to push too hard. Trying to become. He goes. Tries to go to the inside of John Oates, but just isn't able to get that big of a run. He's been the one that I've noticed all race has been going the lowest down the front stretch. Most of his passes have been down on the front stretch. Still curious why everybody else has been trying to block him there, but hey, if it's working, because he's moving forward. He's in third, and he's looking right on the coattails of Jonathan Oates for second place here. Does a little peek, He goes to the inside. He's inside now. He's side by side going through the little tight. He's got to back it up. Keeps it going. Gets to the inside. He's inside of him now. The front stretch, the curved front stretch. He's going down the inside. He's getting a push from Austin Moore. Austin Moore's going to try and train Jonathan Oates to the outside. Jonathan Oates, can he battle back? Looks to have a little bit of an advantage coming off the corner, but Austin Moore's still there. He's still working. Ellie Henderson's going to go to the outside. Not really help Austin. But again, Oates runs the higher lane. He goes a little bit down here to try and get the block on Austin. Austin can't really get the move done right now. He's still looking to the inside. He's begging for that position. He's asking, guys, I was up there. I was in third. Come on, I want it back. But no, Christopher Heller is up in second. He's starting to pull away a little bit from Oates, and Oates is now trying to block Austin Moore, keep him behind him. Got a big train here. Ellie Henderson goes a little peek, pulls to the inside. He's inside of Austin Moore. Now we're getting some good racing. He pulls up to the inside of Oates as well. Austin Moore's going to let him go, and he's going to give him a little bit of a push by Jonathan Oates here. He's down the front stretch, down the inside. He's got the shorter line. Pulls to the inside. They're side by side heading into turn one. He's going to clear him. Oates runs the mega high line. Looks to be just carrying speed while falling back. Trying to get back in line. Austin Moore's going to clear him as well going off turn two, and he slots right back in line. Oates from second to fifth on those few laps there. That's not what he was looking for, especially after getting up to second so early. And Elliott Henderson pulls to the inside now of Christopher Heller. He's passing him. New tires possibly coming in. Jonathan Oates passing Austin Moore now. Oh, we got a ton of racing here. This battle for second is crazy. Almost got a flip-flopped order here. Oates, who was up front of these guys, is now the one farthest back as Austin Moore, pretty much back to where he was. And Heller just losing the gap to Ellie Henderson here. As I look to see the lap times, just to see what we're coming here next time by. J.D. Laird with a 32.1 and Elliott Henderson with a 31.8. He's catching him by a few tenths a lap. The tires, like you said, Kyle, are coming in.
Here he comes, here he comes. This is going to get real interesting.
Oh, we got a pass going on. Austin Moore is going by the 11 now. I'm sorry, normally I'd let you talk, but there's a lot of racing going on. I got to talk about the racing. This is what we're all here for. That is some good stuff. Jonathan Oates pulls to the inside. Christopher now. Christopher was now leading this pack, is now gone in the back. And now the 63 and the 33 have pulled up to these guys. 63 pulls to the inside of the 11. Now he's going to try and pass him going through turns 1 and 2. He can't get it though. Christopher's going to clear him coming off of turn 2. No run yet. Turn 3 does a little bit of a peak. Nope, they're all high line coming into 3 there. But they get back to the bottom coming out for Austin Moore. Puts a little bit of a gap on Jonathan Oates here. Seems to be he's pulling. Look back
like to note, Elliott Henderson is caught up by a half a second the last 2 laps.
Oh, we've got a race coming, Kyle. Looking good. That was 2 tenths the last time by. He's coming. The call of the race. I was putting doubts on it, Kyle, but you said no, it's gonna come in later on, and sure enough, here it comes.
Elliott Henderson is really making a big charge on him. He's catching him. He caught him 3 more tenths that lap.
Half a second gap coming onto that lap. He's gonna be on his bumper in just 2 laps time. But the guys behind him just can't catch up. They're running the same lap times as the leader here. Those tires really are the thing making the difference this time. Elliott Henderson, who's second in points right now behind J.D. Laird, this might be the call that he needs to try and close the gap heading into the round of 6. Here he comes. He's right there. Coming through 1 and 2. He takes a little bit of lower line, gets to that painted line quicker. Wheels up, still catching time. Be interesting to see if possibly a little bit of dirty air might affect him, but with how quick he seems to be catching him, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Do you think dirty air could help out JD here? Or is he done for?
Elliott definitely has the quicker car right now, but the dirty air can definitely affect Elliott at least for a few laps. But Elliott, the way it's looking, I think Elliott's going to find his way past him.
Well, I just brought it up now because Elliott just ran a 32.3 and JD a 32.4. Oh, here he comes. He's up the inside going into turn 3. Clears him. No issues whatsoever. Not even a battle. He's clear coming out of turn 4. Oh, we hear a bit of contact back there. I heard some damage. Who was that? I'm not sure. I'm trying to look, but I'm not seeing anybody with some good damage, but I heard some contact. JD's not letting this go, though. He's trying to keep it. He's not letting him pull out too far. Oh, he's right back on his bumper. He's still there. This race ain't over yet. Pulls a bit of a gap going through 3 and 4. Seems to be that Elliott's starting to get it going, starting to pull away. He's getting clean. That was a nice gap he pulled out just then. 2/10 that last time by. Now it'd be interesting to see what that battle JD tried to put on to keep the lead there. Pretty fruitless, let's be real. With those tires, I don't think he had a shot. But since he pushed a little bit, as we see the replay here. Yep, that was just clean, concise, no issues, just the cleanest pass of your life. You're never going to get something more satisfying than just blowing by a guy on newer tires, and that's exactly what Elliott experienced. Pull up the inside, boop, got to that painted line, and he's clear before he even got to the center of the corner. Pulling out a big gap here. It seems to be over for JD Laird. Now I want to start comparing their lap times to the rest of the pack here. It seems to be most of the people in the pack are running about the same lap times. We'll look at, Elliott got a bit loose coming off turn 4. That cannot help. You may have newer tires, but you can't burn them up. They will equalize if you keep doing that, and JD caught up a bunch of time because of that mistake. Both on the white line, getting that turn in the car. Elliott's got to watch himself. He's in the lead. He's in the clean air. He's going to have a tiny bit more front bite than he did behind him. But he's got to be careful coming off these corners. Got the clean run going here. Elliott has no issues. JD was looking to see more mistakes come at Elliott that time by, but Elliott seemed to fix it. He got it all tidied up. He said, oh, we're not doing that one again. That was pretty bad. So we're going to shift a little bit to the back of the pack here. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. They seem to be pretty close together as the 2 leaders are quite far away here. I mean, we're just looking for a battle here. Some good stuff earlier. Now it seems to be everybody's kind of getting ignored here. Kyle, when do you think these drivers are going to have to pit?
I expect them to start coming down pit road within the next 10 to 20 laps, around lap 85 to lap 95 to make it the rest of the way on fuel. But I'll be watching for JD Laird and that first group that came in the caution before last. And then Elliott Henderson plus the 33 car and the 63 of Eric and Aaron.
Now let's put a little bet here. Let's make it a little interesting. Who do you think the first guy to pit's going to be out of the top 5?
Oh, JD all the way. JD is losing time to Elliott right now. Whenever he finds the time to come into pit road and make it the rest of the way, that's when he's going to come in.
I do remember you said that the driver's going to go about 45 to 50 laps, and we're right around that cusp of 50 laps. When do you think the earliest JD can come in here?
Earliest, I would say for JD, I would say come a couple laps after 85, maybe around 88, maybe 90, just in case of that late race caution.
Hey, I mean, I don't think it's coming. I think we're going green. I don't think we're going to have any issues. drivers that were having issues earlier are out of the race or have just left. So I think we're going to be clean and green here. I think it's all going to be about the numbers. It's all going to be about your pace. It's all going to be about maximizing pit road. There's one thing you got to make sure you do during these green flag pit stops is maximize your brakes. Don't lock them up. Don't speed. Don't overshoot your pit box. You do any of those things and anybody else, even if they come a lap after you, are going to be way ahead of you. Look in this battle here. Jonathan Oates is starting to back up a little bit as the 11 of Christopher Heller here is getting a lot closer. This battle for 4th place is getting a bit tighter. A lot tighter than it was a little bit ago. Looking to see when drivers start to push a little bit harder, expecting to come in. We're listening for any radio chatter to hear if anybody's pitting. We're looking to see, technically, the window should be open. So we're looking to see when the first guy to come down pit road is going to be.
I expect silence on the radio until pit stops come around. No one wants to give up their strategy this early, because I know JD is probably going to want to come to pit road first, and if he announces on the radio him and Elliot, he's not going to have an advantage over Elliot.
Elliot's not really pulling a gap anymore, though. They seem to have stagnated around this point. I mean, he was losing a lot of time earlier, but now he hasn't really gotten that far out ahead of JD here. Seems to be if JD were to pit earlier, he would clear Elliot coming out of pit road when he comes in. Just looking to see a couple battles here. Not seeing too much. It's getting tighter and tighter for this 4th place, but we haven't seen anybody pull out yet. We're looking to see if somebody slips up. We're looking to see you pull to the inside. The worst thing that can happen is somebody says, I'm pitting, and somebody pulls up to the inside of them. That would be disaster for that person. I mean, what kind of mindset goes through your mind when somebody does something like that? You try and come in and they pull up your inside. You get mad? What happens, Kyle?
Depends on where you're at and what type of strategy you're on. For example, if JD would come into the pits and Elliot wants to make sure that he comes the next lap so he loses the most minimal amount of time, if someone's on his inside, he's going to be pissed.
Got an interesting development coming up in the front here. It seems to be JD has caught up a little bit back to Elliot. I mean, I was not expecting this. I thought Elliot would be clear of him. I thought he'd be second out in front. What's happening here, Kyle? How is he catching him again?
Before Elliot made his run on JD, he was a whole 2 seconds back. Drove him all the way down on those new tires, made the pass on the inside, and he tried to drive his way as much as he could, and I think he's just used up
we got a battle.
tire.
We got a battle. 3rd place. Oh my God. Jonathan Ellis pulling up the inside of Austin Moore. The 11 of Christopher Hale. We got a battle. Finally, the racetrack. We got a battle. Christopher Hale pulls up the inside of Austin Moore. Austin Moore clear him coming up through Moore. No, he can't. He pulls up side by side. Door coming down the front stretch. Austin Moore stuck on the outside here. Getting the 33 of Aaron Hale pull up the inside of him going into turn 1. This could be disastrous for Austin Moore here. If he falls this far back, the pit advantage he could have had is not going to be nearly as much. Oh, there he goes, 33. Oh, they tried to go through line. 33 is now underneath the 11 going into turn 3. Where did he come from? He was sticking back there just chilling. Now he's coming up on the inside. Mr. Helen's now stuck on the outside. And Austin Moore pull up the inside of him coming into turn 1. He seems to be a bit big of a gap, but he could close up coming from turn 1 here. They're side by side heading into turn 1. Little white line side by side still. Nobody's really eking out a big gap. Oh, and he clears them coming out of turn 2. Austin Moore, is he going to pull a move? Oh, we got a big block of Christopher Miller down the back straight. Goes down full lane to try and keep Austin Moore behind him. And we start to settle out through the final. Now that was some good action right there. Oh, we're approaching that pit window, lap 83. Now, when is it going to happen? When is the time going to happen? We're waiting for it.
The earliest these guys can come in is at lap 85 if they want to make it the rest of the way without any cautions. So I would expect someone to come into pit road within the next 3 to 5 laps.
We're going to be be watching JD Laird here to see when is the earliest he's going to come in. Rest of the field single file, so this is really what we're going to be looking for here is when is he going to pit in. Because he's really the one that could change the results of this race right here. Rest of the field's going to try and squabble for best of the rest as JD and Elliott try and battle for the win. This is all going to be the deciding of this is pit stop as we get to 1 to go on the pit window opening. Alright, here we are where we got the pit window open. Be listening on the radio. We're gonna tell you if we hear anything. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Seems to be pretty similar pace between the top two here. There's about a 10th drop off to 3rd place between the top two.
I'm pit.
Aaron Hale, like, oh, Jonathan Oates says he's pitting. Oh, he's gonna try and cut across the front of the 33. He's coming in to pit road right now. He was going a little backwards, so hey, this could be the call. A little fast, but there he goes. It looks like he got to pit road speed. Nice and clean, coming down pit road. Make no mistakes. Maximize your pit road speed. Get into the box. Don't slide the box. Get out nice and clean. Try and get out as quick as you can. It's going to lose the lap here, but because I expect it to go green, I don't think we're going to be looking at any cautions throwing this off. Nice and clean into the box. No issues. Leaders are coming out of turn 4, so he's going to go down a lap here as he raises the left side tires. Leaders go by going into turn 1. Here he comes out of the pits, nice and clean. Watch the exit here, see if he makes any mistakes. Nice and clean, trying to run as wide a line as possible, carry as much speed. Don't cross that blue and white line.
In this time.
The 11 of Christopher Heller's pitting now as Jonathan Oates gets off pit road, nice and clean. Here comes Christopher Heller. He said he's going to be pitting, and here he goes. He's slowing down onto the apron, nice and clean. Here we go. Ooh, a little bit sketchy coming in. Little fast, locked up the brakes, but did get down to pit road speed. He looks to be all right. Didn't lose too much time, I don't believe. Christopher Heller's going through. We were expecting JD to be the first one to come in, and now we've seen a couple of these guys in the mid-pack pit. This is probably going to bring them right up to the leaders. Kyle, why haven't they pit yet? Oh, as we see right now, JD's coming out to pit road right now. Here we go. This is the move. Elliott Henderson stays out for an extra lap. JD Laird coming down pit road. Looks to be no issues. Nice and clean. Got in real quick. That was very nice, very clean. Points leader right here is making a move that could give him the win of this race. Trying to short pit a little bit. We'll see if Elliott Henderson responds after this. Gets in the pit box nice and clean. No lockups, no slides. Right side's up. Drops to the rights. He's going to pick up the left side. Elliott stays out for another lap. He's going to lose a lot of time here. JD Laird comes out of pits nice and clean. Lost a lap, but leader's only on the backstretch, about a quarter of a track. Try and get out here, out in some clean traffic. Try not to get stuck behind anybody. Jonathan Oates actually jumps JD Laird. Jonathan Oates, who actually pit before him, is in front of JD Laird. This could change everything. If he gained that much time, then Elliott's got a big issue. Oh,
Tires.
Here he is on pit road. Here he is right now. Elliott's coming down pit road. Sorry to cut you off, but man, there's a lot happening.
I didn't touch you, by the way. I swear.
I know he's coming in. Nice and clean. Let's see no slips. Nice and clean. Perfect stop right at the sign. Gonna raise the right sides. Get those tires on. There he goes. Nice and clean. As we see some drivers staying out still. Aaron Hale's coming in right now. Eric Kepth's the last one who's not pit yet. He's still staying out. Maybe he's hoping for some wild card caution here. But as we see, Elliott Henderson's on pit road for a pretty long time. He's coming off the pit road now. There he goes. But Eric Kepth is still staying out. As we saw Aaron Hale pit the previous lap by. Elliot's going to come out right in front of him, so he will not lose a lap from that. JD Laird's behind that, so Elliot didn't actually lose out to JD there. I mean, I thought JD came into the pits pretty good. Kyle, what do you think happened?
I'm looking back at the replay right now. It looks like to me that JD had a battle with the 11 car when he came out of the pits and got completely sideways and almost wrecked himself in 3 and 4.
Well, that'll do it, that's for sure. Like I mentioned early in the race, these cars are real loose in the early run. There he goes. Ooh, that's a big. That was a wreck that didn't crash. That was bad from JD there. He kept it going, kept out of the wall, no damage, but harm done to the tires indeed. He's right on the bumper, about the same gap to Elliot Henderson as they had earlier in the race. So it seems to be that they equalized coming off pit road, even with the JD early stop. That's what those mistakes will do to you.
This should get real interesting. They're really driving down Jonathan Oates right now. Last lap they were 7/10 quicker than Jonathan. Jonathan just ran a 31.9 and Elliot Henderson just ran a 31 flat.
Yeah, those tires really make a big difference. As you see, Eric has come down pit road and relinquished the lead over to Christopher Heller, who was actually in front of Jonathan Oates then. So Heller, who actually pit a lap after Jonathan, is now ahead of them as Elliot Henderson comes up on Jonathan's bumper. It's going to be a bit of a battle in a second here, as JD and Elliot are racing for this lead, or what likely will be the impromptu lead if Christopher doesn't have the pace. Coming up the inside of Jonathan Oates here. Jonathan Oates is going to try and battle a little bit on the outside, but they're side by side heading down the backstretch. JD's going to try and follow suit to try and lose as little time as possible. Ooh, gets a little tight there, but gets to the painted white line, misses the apron. Inside, side by side down the front stretch, the side jousting lose him a little bit of time. But he gets by him. Here's Jonathan Oates down to 4th. Our first pitter has now lost out to what was 2 leaders. But I would overall say this has so far been a net gain. He was at least 2 seconds off of them going into the pit stops, and now he's right on their bumper.
For sure, but his tires are way falling off. He's going to fall way back, but there's not very many positions he could lose. Austin Moore is around 4 or 5 seconds back of him. So overall, I think it was a gain.
Do you think Christopher Heller has any shot here at keeping the lead, or do you think it's just a matter of time before he loses it?
He just needs to hold the lead long enough for the tires to all even out between the 3 of them. Because JD, his tires might be flat spotted from his incident. Elliot Henderson has the freshest tires of the 3, and Christopher currently has the fresh air and the lead. So I think it's really anyone's game right now.
Yes, these cars typically, from my experience, do not experience as much dirty air as the other cars on iRacing. However, it's still there and still can make a difference. There's been races decided by guys even enough, purely by whoever was out front. So can Christopher Heller keep enough pace out in the lead here to stay in front of Elliot Henderson? That we will have to see, but Elliot is catching up. It's not too long till he pulls up to his bumper. I mean, he's not losing that much time. Caught him a couple tenths the last lap by. He's pulling up. He's right there, just a couple car lengths back. Big run down the backstretch. Gonna try and look at the inside. No, he's not going to get to the inside. Christopher Heller's going to move the bottom. Missed the painted line a little bit. That's going to hurt the turn. And Elliot Henderson's going to pull up the inside. Side by side, head down the front stretch. He's going to try and get it into turn 1, and there he goes, right by JD Laird, who was on his bumper before, has lost a huge amount of time as Elliot Henderson passes Christopher Heller for the finish. And I think Elliot Henderson just has this good and clean. That mistake from JD Laird when he spun the tires and got it real loose, I think that's going to basically make Elliot's bet here. I think he's got it set. What do you think, Kyle?
Elliott just needs to take it easy and stay where he is. If he just takes it easy and not try to do what he did last time. Last time he tried to drive away from JD as fast as he could, and his tires began to fall off, and JD began to reel him back in. If he does that again, it might not be the same result.
Well, we've definitely got, seems to be the dominant car at this point in the race. It looked to be JD. I'm laughing at you now. Instead, JD's gone, he's out, nobody had a shot until that call from Elliott Henderson. And now Elliott's just pulling away from him.
There's just some great strategy here. Strategy wins a lot of races. I won a race just the other night in a Class B race, the Xfinity cars. I did some strategy, some tire strategy, and drove through the field and win. You don't always have to have the fastest car to win. JD, I think, had the fastest car tonight, but it's looking like he might not win tonight. We'll see what happens in these last 30 laps.
Yep, we've got about 31 laps to go, heading to the finish, and Elliott Henderson already has pulled out over a second lead to Christopher Heller in second. JD has not yet got by him. I mean, this is just hurting JD even more, being stuck behind a car that hit even earlier than him. I don't see him coming back here.
A little bit early to make those assumptions, like I'm saying. Elliott Henderson is really driving away from this pack. At the same time, he could be burning up his tires, and as I say that, it looks like the 11 is going to move over for JD as JD continues to try to make his run after Elliott Henderson.
Yes, JD has finally gotten by the 11 Christopher Heller as we see the replay here. Yep, very clean move, side by side, just boom, nice and clear. Very reminiscent of when Elliott passed JD earlier in the race. Very clean move, no issues. And he's by him, but how much did that hurt him, Kyle, being behind him for that long?
He was just picking the right moment. I don't think he was wasting too much time. Maybe a little bit of time a lap, but overall not that much. I think he was just taking his time, making sure he made the right pass at the right time.
I mean, 2 seconds though. I'm gonna catch 2 seconds. That's a lot of time to gain. I mean, I watched a race a couple days ago where really the only reason why second place got the leader is because the leader blew a tire. So unless Elliott has some catastrophic issue here, what can JD even do to catch him?
Just because he just has to keep on hitting his marks and hope that Elliott either uses up those tires or taps the wall or gets a little loose like he did when he was battling with the 11 car.
Oh boy, this is shaping up to be a clean and concise finish here. Good effort from all these drivers today. Everybody who's about to finish this race played a clean race, kept it out of the wall, got down pit road, no penalties. I mean, so far we've got 7 cars in the lead lap, and that's all 7 cars that are currently in this race still. So congratulations to all of them on being good enough at this point in the race to stay in it still. It seems to be that, oh! As we hear Christopher Heller over the radio tell Elliott ask why he's so fast, as Elliott now pulls out a 3-second lead over JD Laird. Elliott comes back and says, if you didn't put JD in the wall. Oh boy. Wonder if that probably could have made the difference. As we see Jonathan Oates get passed by Austin Moore here. Jonathan Oates is just going backwards. I mean, he was the earliest one to pit. He took the initiative. And while it was a good call early on, I think just the tire fall off was too much for him to manage. Now he's falling backwards. Aaron Hale in the 33 is going to try and run him down and pass him too. And this could be disastrous for Jonathan Oates, who was in second early in the race. Check real quick back at the replay that they're referring to where JD got loose. Now, I wouldn't say Christopher put him in the wall. I would just say he kind of did that himself, but hey, to each their own, I suppose. JD just got loose. He just got loose. The wheel came out of his hands. A little too much throttle. Just rolled the center a little too quick.
It looks like to me that Heller put the pressure on the 23 when he came out of the pits, and the 23 on the fresh tires just tried to keep in front of him, and got loose. And there was a conversation on the radio between multiple drivers about it. I don't see 11 at fault in that situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't really blame anybody in that situation. It's just a matter of driver error, as the 33 of Austin, Aaron Hale, had gotten by Jonathan Oates just a few laps ago, and now he's trying to run down Austin Moore here. Aaron Hale was actually one of our latest pitters, so he's going to be looking to try and gain some more spots towards the end of this race. He'll be one to watch here. And while the gap is most definitely too big to catch Elliott without a caution here, he'll be looking to see if possibly he could get up to third, maybe even second here come the end of the race. But man, he's got a hell of a job ahead of him, that's for sure. Austin Moore's gonna try and hold him off for as long as he can as we approach the end of the race here. 21 laps to go as the leader crosses the line. That's plenty of time to save tire, burn tire, make mistakes, and do whatever you will. But it's looking right now that with these drivers making it this far, that they've done enough of a job that they know what they're doing.
I'd like to point out that the quickest lap last time by was Aaron Hale in the 33, Austin Moore and Elliott Henderson not too far behind.
That's what those tires will do. This track has surprisingly become a very high wear racetrack from my experience. It used to not be like this. It used to be one of the lower wear racetracks on the NASCAR schedule, but in more recent years, it seems to have been that the track surface has just gotten more abrasive, the speeds have gotten a little higher as the new tarmac is put down, and all the paint, especially that paint, which adds all that stick and all the grip into the track. As we see the 11 really backing up here, Austin Moore is pulled up to his bumper. It looks like he's going to get by him in just a couple laps here. Aaron Hale has not been able to really catch up to Austin here. He kind of kept the same gap, but he should be able to get by Christopher here.
Just to go back to you when it came to the surface, it sounds like there's a possibility that Charlotte might get a resurfacing with the announcement today from the North Carolina governor, $30 million bill for renovations.
Yes, I did hear about this, yes. I was a little bit confused when I saw Charlotte, but then I thought about it after watching most of this race, and I went, you know, it actually starts to make sense. But it ought to be interesting to try and see if we could get North Wilkesboro and Rockingham back on the schedule. Now that would be really fun, right?
I could definitely see Rockingham being back on the schedule within the coming years, but I could see North Wilkesboro being back on the schedule, but it might take a while, maybe 4 or 5 years at least.
We quickly watch as Christopher Heller falls all the way back to 6th place here. He's or 5th place, sorry. His tires are starting to get a little shot here. There seems to be a tipping point with these tires where after a certain number, they just start to tank in grip. So it's interesting to watch these guys and see who can try and extend the length of time before they reach that point. Let's try and catch some Elliott on board as he's pulled out almost a 4-second lead now. Some of the cleanest laps around this racetrack. What is going on in that photo that he's got of himself? What is on his face? I seem to have a little bit of a joke. Hey! It doesn't matter how he looks, he's pulling out a gap, he's making himself look good, so you can look as dumb as you want visually, as long as you're beating everybody else on the racetrack.
That picture looks like it's straight out of Twitter. It looks like he's mean right now.
It's one of those cursed images I'd seen on Instagram or something.
Y'all better retweet this.
Y'all
Gonna get
better
first.
retweet this, or else, ... Right now, the closest battle we've got on track is for third place between Austin Moore and Aaron Hale. Aaron Hale, again, we gotta remind you, was the latest one of the pit stops, but he's been stuck behind Austin for at least a solid 20 to 30 laps now. He'll be able to get by him, but up a little speed, just need to see if he can pull up third place here, which would be a fantastic run for Aaron Hale, who has already been locked out of the next round of the playoffs currently. But hey, he's still got something to race for. Maybe race for fun, race for points, try and get higher in the championship standings. Hey, there's some good drivers that have run this league, even with the small numbers. Just watching Elliott pull out this. Actually, just checking now, JD Laird is actually caught up a little bit. Now, it's very possible that Elliott's just backing up and using up whatever gap he has, but JD Laird has caught up a few tenths the last couple laps.
We ran exact same lap times that time by.
Seeing the most satisfying interval number I've ever seen, 3.500. Oh, so nice to see those zeros. But let's get back quickly here to the Austin Moore battle, because they're right on top of each other. I'm just waiting for Aaron Hale to just pull a move, just say screw it, and blow up the inside of him going into turn 1 or turn 3 here.
I've been keeping my eye on that battle. It looks like to me that Aaron Hale has a little more speed than Austin Moore, but Austin Moore is just not going to give up that bottom.
That time by, Aaron Hale did hook the paint, as Austin Moore kind of missed it a little bit. That is going to hurt his turn a little. We're on the high side here a bit. Nobody's on the paint. Waiting real late on that apex, trying to get the run down the front straight. Aaron Hale's got a bit of a run coming. He tries to go. Looks like he's trying to go to the outside, but just doesn't have enough of a run to do it. Can he cross over? Oh, he pulls to the inside. He's inside. Oh, not enough. Couldn't get deep enough into the corner. He's trying now. This is where the battle's going to come from towards the end of this race. Looking real quick here with Aaron Hale. Here he comes. He's up the inside going into turn 3. Side by side. Center of 3 and 4. Kind of pulled up a bit. Kind of did a little bit of a diamond. It's going to work out. Side by side down the front. He's got the short line. But Austin Moore's got the run on the high side. Austin Moore's going to have the advantage going into 1, but they pull up side by side in the center again. And Austin Moore battled it. Oh, he gets a little loose in the center. That's going to let Aaron Hale get the advantage coming off of turn 2. There's still side by side. This is the most we've seen side by side this race. There he goes. He's going to get him this time by, and he's clear. Austin Moore's going to try and get in line here. There they go. Aaron Hale has finally gotten by Austin Moore in 3rd place. It's going to be interesting to see if Austin Moore has anything to try and get back at him, but I'm not sure if he does. I mean, they've been battling for a while. Their tires might have started to equalize, but Aaron Hale's by him, and he's heading out. Gap's starting to open up here. It seems to be lost for hope for Austin Moore here, as Aaron Hale is likely to run away with 3rd place as we reach about 7 laps to go here to the end of the race. We're approaching the end. Guys are probably starting to push a little bit if they want to try and gain some more, maybe just have some fun. But I think Elliott here is just having a Sunday drive as he drives away from the pack.
I'd like to make a little note that Aaron Hale ran 2 tenths quicker than JD Laird last week. He's only rounds more than the back of him. Not impossible to make that comeback for 2nd.
That's going to be something we could look at the end of the race here. And the gap is a little big. I'm not sure if he'll be able to do it about 1.5 seconds between the 2 of them. But the gap is closing a little bit as Elliott just starts to gap JD again after his very slight charge a little bit earlier in this run. but let's see if Aaron Hale can try and catch up to him. It's gonna be 6 to go this time by. Going on to this next lap, it looks like the gap is about 1.4 now. Only a tenth that time by. It's not going to be enough to catch him. He's going to have to catch up at least 2 to 3 tenths each lap, and I don't think he has enough in the tank to do that.
Late on this run, looks like the JD's definitely used up his tires more than Aaron has, though. Looks like Aaron has a little bit left. JD used up all he can on that little run that you just mentioned on Elliott.
Well, he didn't lose a gap that time by, but he lost a little bit to Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill is now 1.3. Again, 1/10. Not enough. It looks like this is going to be our finishing order as we get closer to the finish here. 5 to go. Henderson's just driving away. See if he can try and get a 4-second gap and just really make it look like the worst spanking of your life.
I'd like to point out that Jonathan Oates is just hating life in the back right now. He is running almost a full second slower than our leader right now on those old tires.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be. He's running the mega high side. He's got damage. By this point, he's just doing it for the hell of it. He's probably just running whatever line he's got just to see if he could have some fun, as he really doesn't have a threat from Eric Kemp either, who's over 10 seconds back from him. About 1 second gap from JD Laird to Aaron Hale, but doesn't look like he's gonna catch him. Maybe we could watch him try to before. Oh, it looks like JD made a little bit of a mistake coming off turn 2. The gap closed up quite a bit there. Let's see what it is.
I think I saw some sparks a little bit. I think he got a little loose off the corner. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but it looks like Aaron Hale made up a little bit more of that gap. JD might be feeling that pressure right now.
6 tenths. 2 to go this time by. Can he catch him? I don't know if he can. Elliott's heading into turn 3 to go on to the last lap here, but the battle is looking like it's going to be for second place heading on to the last lap. Elliott Henderson's going to take the white flag here, as the battle we're looking at right now is between Aaron Hale and JD Laird.
Just watch 3 and 4. Aaron Hale caught up a lot in 3 and 4 that last time by.
3 tenths. A little under 3 tenths. He's right there. He's on his bumper. We could see a battle here right at the finish. One mistake from JD and he might lose second place. 1 corner to go. Oh, he's coming to the outside. Oh, he's cranking that wheel, trying to do it. He can't get it. Elliott Henderson's going to take the win for the cutoff race at Charlotte, and Aaron Hale is going to have to go for 3rd place as JD Laird beats him for 2nd. Austin Moore will come in 4th following them, with Christopher Heller holding out for a 5th place finish, and Jonathan Oates frankly just suffering for a 6th place, and Eric kept just doing whatever else in the back, enjoying a 7th place finish here tonight.
Thanks, guys. Can I get the top 3, JD, Aaron, into the VSCRA Discord for interviews potentially?
Congratulations to Elliott Henderson for his run. 4.4 second gap at the finish, an absolute spanking by him. As we try and drag a couple of our drivers in down in the booth here.
Yes, sir. Thanks for showing up.
Do have Elliott Henderson in here, so let's pull him in just a second. Just gonna let him enjoy his victory a little bit as he does some donuts.
Trying to keep that car out of the grass, it looked like. Not trying to get any dirt on that car.
Yes, let's try and get some other drivers into the Discord here before we start doing driver reviews. Elliott Henderson burning it down. Very deserved for that. Great call on the caution late in the race. Got himself tires, got himself out to the front, and just pulled away from him. Hello, JD Laird. What a
Hello.
run from you. How are you doing? How was that?
It was nice to get green flag pit stop cycle in without anything going wrong except for me. But it is what it is. I don't even think I led the most laps. I think it was like too short. But in the end, it was just a race. All I had to do is take the green in advance of the round of 6. So being able to lead and finish second is just icing on the cake.
As congratulations on making it into the round of 6 here. What did it feel like? Just did you have anything for Elliot there at the end?
I mean, when I came up behind him, I got stuck in dirty air, and clean air is king here with this car, especially here. So getting stuck behind it and trying to chase him down for the couple of laps like an idiot like I am, burned him up. And then on top of that, when I exited pit road, I got spooked by the 11 and almost dumped it in 3, so I had to lock it down there. So there were laps that I can match him, and then there was a group of laps where I could gain on him, but like I said, clean air was king, and he was able to scoot away, and I killed my front tires doing what I like to do best, and he just sailed away.
Yes, we'd like to bring up towards the end of the race there. Hale was running up to you. What happened there? It looked like you got a bit loose coming off turn 2, and the gap closed up like crazy right at the end.
Yeah, I had a brain fade. I was like, my brain was shutting down at that point. I'm just like, I'll settle in, and then of course the one time I do that, another slide almost cost me second. So I I feel like I do that. He would have been about a half a second back. I knew how much he gained that lap prior that he was going to make it close, and I wanted to force him to take the top because there was no high lane at all. So once I saw him peek the nose to my outside, I figured it was game over for him. So we were able to get lucky and steal second because it was one lap later. I would have been third.
All right, well, congratulations, JD, on the second place and holding it out right at the end of the race. We will hopefully see you in the next race. Oh, there he goes. Hello, our winner, Elliot Henderson. Welcome to the booth. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, you put an absolute spanking on the field at the end of the race there. What was the idea behind the call of the race at that caution to come and take tires?
Well, I was nervous about fuel. I didn't know if it was a possibility to make it just based off of the time, but then I learned that we could pretty much go 50 laps. So it wasn't really the fuel, but um, I don't know. I figured the fuel thing was going to be the big issue, but it turned out that just having 2-lap pressure tires was literally a saving grace over JD. I know he had a fast as hell race car, and I don't know what happened between him and Chris. I'm going back to look now, but um, it was going to be a good battle. But otherwise, I mean, it was fun to have to march up and drive up to him and pass all those guys on that restart. But yeah, I guess it was really just the call for fuel, but it ended up just being a call for tires that really mattered.
Yeah, it definitely looked to be the tires were the big difference maker in this race tonight. What would you say was the effect of saving the tires? Because it looked to be that you were gapping the field on the longer runs.
Yeah, I noticed in the first run that I felt like I was just attacking the corner way too much. So from there on, especially on that restart, I was just being super patient behind everybody because I knew that Oates was saving tires the whole run too. So I figured if he's saving and Chris and Austin are between him, if I go slower than what Austin's pace is, I'll be saving plenty to go catch JD. I just needed to make sure that the gap didn't get too far. And then, I mean, at that point, I was really just praying that I could get up to second. I had no intentions of even getting to JD, but as soon as I was able to get under John and then get around Chris, and I realized I was actually as fast as JD, if not catching him, I was like, well, I guess we'll go after it and we'll see if these tires can hold on and we'll give it a shot. But it was really just running the first 5, 6, 7 laps just behind Austin, cutting brakes, and just not forcing anything and waiting it out until those guys really started to pass each other and then just follow through each other and get around them as quickly as possible and cleared all of them within a lap. And that was enough to set sights on JD and never really look back at that point. But It was a ton of fun racing JD for the lead too, because he's super competitive. He's a really fast guy, and I thought I'd drive away after I cleared him, and then he just sat there and knew I couldn't get away, and I was just open driving him at that point. So it was a ton of fun though. I'm glad that this track creates more of a sliding feel in the race car, and we're actually having to turn right on corner exit and stuff. It's something that I'm not used to with running the trucks and stuff often.
Yeah, that definitely looked to be what got you the race win there tonight. Quickly before we send you out, anybody to thank for this?
Yeah, I haven't done an interview in a while. Thank you guys for putting on this broadcast. I know this all came together haphazardly and randomly, and it's all kind of test bed for the league that we're putting on come in June with Great Lakes Cup Series. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm excited to go back and watch this broadcast and see both my car out there, see the battle between JD, and get a little bit of that EHG on there with Chris Heller as well. He's running my paint scheme. And that leads me into the thanks for all the split second guys, my teammates, Chris Heller, Eric Kep, Peter Akimano, Brendan Barkowski, and Austin Moore, and all these guys that run with me in other leagues on a weekly basis. And thanks to everyone that keeps showing up here. I know this league's kind of lost a lot of drivers recently, but I think with the small fields that we have, it's still really fun racing, and the fact that we can see 5 guys under a bed for second place or under a blanket for second place just shows kind of the quality in the racing. Really just a stage caution, and then I don't know exactly what the issue was with Pete, whether he self-spun or what that was, but just 2 cautions all night in a 134 lap race, which is expected with a small field, and it made the racing super fun, and it gave just enough strategy with tires to kind of figure out what you want to do.
All right, well, again, congratulations on the win. Thank you guys for letting us come in with our little experience and just have a fun time with this tonight. And let's try and get our third place finisher here in a moment. And here he is, Aaron Hale, our third place finisher, close to a second place there. Aaron, what was that finish like for you?
Kind of unexpected, man. I saw JD get into the wall there with like 3 laps to go, and I was like, man, I might have a chance for second. But I was able to take care of my tires there in the last couple runs and get myself a third place finish.
Yeah, we noticed you were one of the last ones to come onto pit road at that last green flag pit stop. Do you think that's what gave you the advantage to try and get up to that position in the first place?
Yeah, definitely. I thought I saw Elliot in front of me, and I was like, well, he's staying out. I'd pitted under that caution before. I've had a couple of fresher tires, and I usually have good luck on the long runs, and in that first run of the day, I kind of taken off once we got to the halfway part of the run. I was able to work my way from the back up to 6, so I thought that was my best chance to stay out. At one point, I thought maybe I was staying out too long, but kind of stayed the course there, and then I think I came out 6th. It's quite a ways back, but was able to mow them down as they wore their tires out and get a good finish tonight.
We noticed for a while there you were behind Austin Moore and really seemed to just not be able to get around him for a long time. Do you think that was the big difference in what stopped you from getting second place at the end of the race there?
Yeah, that's probably a big part of it. I mean, JD was great all night. I don't know if I would have been able to get around him, but Austin, yeah, he was just really tough to get around, and I knew he was starting to wear his stuff out, and I just thought I had to be patient and wait for that to happen so I could get around him.
All right, well, is there anybody you'd like to thank? You're that close to a second place.
I know, it's a great night. I wasn't able to make it for the last couple weeks, which is unfortunate, but I just want to thank Elliot for putting this on every week. It's a lot of fun. A smaller group, but good, clean racing, and I enjoy it.
All right, well, thank you, and good job on the third place finish at the end there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this race. I know it was a small one, and I know it was a long one, but we got some good racing, good strategy, and an absolute dominant winner at the end of the race there. Thank you for tuning in to the Virtual Stock Car Racing Association Premier Series from Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm gonna thank you personally, along with Kyle for being with me here. Go ahead, Kyle.
It was a great broadcast here today. Some good racing and definitely a lot of good strategy. I always like to see some good strategy, and you get a lot of that here at Charlotte. Next week we go to Michigan, by the way.
Yep, that's gonna be interesting indeed. And thank you to Jeff Johnson, from our cameraman from Split Second Broadcasting, for putting this on for all of you. And we'll see you at Michigan.